Sometime after Hiram's death, Dr. Redwood went back to Magnus and visited Hiram's old lab. He first examined the lab to make sure that there were no more hybrid monsters. While there, he finds a note on Hiram's work desk. He picked it up and read the piece of paper and realized that this was Hiram's will. He read the note that went with it and it said, "Dear Robert, if you have found my will and this letter, that means something has happened to me. I know I haven't been the best ally to you, but not all my experiments were monsters. On the right side of where you found the letter, there is a bookcase with a button on one of the sides. Press it and you will find one of my more docile projects. You will not be disappointed and the rest is up to you. Your dearest friend, Hiram Lincoln." Dr. Redwood then put the note down but kept the will in his hand as he looked for the bookcase. He had trouble finding it until he tripped and hit the button by accident, opening the bookcase. The bookcase led to a secret passageway that Dr. Redwood never knew existed. He explored the caves only to find the bioluminescent caverns that he had been searching for all those years ago. Dr. Redwood was mesmerized by the spectacle and the wonder of these legendary caverns. There he found many different creatures living there, whether they're variants of already existing creatures, native species, and new descendants. Redwood then took out the will and read it, which said, if anything ever happens to Hiram Lincoln, all of his projects would go to his good friend, Dr. Robert Redwood. Dr. Redwood tried not to tear up as he was reading the will. He had realized that Hiram had good intentions along with his bad ones. Dr. Redwood spent hours exploring the caves and taking notes of all the magnificent creatures that lived there and were undisturbed for millions of years. As he kept exploring, Dr. Redwood soon found a sentient species that lived in the caverns. Meet the Cerapithecus, descendants of ceratopsians that have evolved the ability to walk upright on two legs. They still have their signature frills and horns on their heads, which are mainly used for sexual display purposes. They are territorial and don't take kindly to strangers. It took Dr. Redwood a while to gain their trust, and once he did, the Cerapithecus showed him around the caves. They also made him swear not to tell anyone else about these caves, which he quickly agreed. He stayed for a few days until finally returning to the surface to head back to Earth. The Cerapithecus gave him a parting gift on the way back, which he still keeps to this day. The last few days were some of Dr. Redwood's better days, and he could only agree that those caves were an experience he would never forget.